Gibraltar has always been built on hard work, resilience, and entrepreneurship. From family-run businesses to modern startups, local entrepreneurs continue to shape the Rock's economy and community. Behind every successful business is a personal story of sacrifice, determination, risk, and passion. Talking Business explores the people behind the businesses and the journeys that brought them to success. So on today's episode of Talking Business, I'm located at No. 1 Models in the center of town, joined by someone who not only has a full-time job, but is also following his dreams. Welcome, Kelvin Hewitt. How are you?
I'm good, thank you. Thank you for having me in today's episodes.
So we have a little bit of a special story because you're combining a full-time job with your full-time passion, I could say. How did that all start for you, and where did you discover that you had a love for fashion and modeling?
Well, this happened in a very young age. I was about 10, 11 years old. My eldest sister, Tamara, she used to join pageantry. And I just remember one day her going to rehearsals, me following her, and they used to do rehearsals in like the local patios. In this one specifically was like where Emil's hostel is.
Yeah.
And I just followed her, and I was sneaky peeking from the outside when Bianca Zamit, she used to run those pageants. And one day she said, "Who's that boy over there?" And my sister said, "That's my brother." She invited me to go in. And since that day, I fell in love just seeing how the girls progressed day by day throughout the rehearsals. And yeah, I used to go to since 2003, which I was 11 years old. Since that day, I started to go in and just watching, helping her with whatever a 10-year-old can help with.
Sure. So 11 years old, from that moment on, you actually discovered that you really liked it. Sounds like you and your sister were very close. What happened from then on once you established that this was something that you really wanted to do?
So yeah, before I actually established No. 1 Models back in 2010, I used to do like these unofficial pageants like Miss Laguna Estate, literally I was about 13. We used to get like toilet paper rolls, pen and marker, and do the sashes, right, like Miss Laguna. And people, now thinking about it, people actually paid £1 to come and watch the shows on the actual patios underneath the blocks. Like my friends now, when they see me doing all of this, are like, ¿te acuerdas when we used to do the pageants in the actual patios? But then when I turned 18, because obviously I was underage, so I couldn't do anything official. I established No. 1 Models. I went like literally the day after my birthday, went to a company's house, registered No. 1 Models, and started with Miss Teen Gibraltar, which was my first pageant. Actually, the contestants were my age.
Well, but that's very courageous in itself, going at 18 to company's house. Do you think you always had that confidence in you to go and get something that you were dreaming of?
I since a very young age, I knew this was going to be what I wanted to do in life. Like watching past Miss Gibraltar's, I used to watch like Victoria's Secret, all of these fashion shows. And I just knew it, that obviously when you're young, you think you can live from this, but unfortunately you can't. So as you said before, I do have a full-time job. I work for Borders and Coast Guards, which luckily I work literally 2 days on, 2 days off.
Okay.
So on my 2 days off, I can...
So busy
focus.
schedule.
Yeah, I'm never off. I'm literally working every single day of the week.
Bueno, pero in terms of juggling all of that in a place like Gibraltar as well, where it's so small and you don't have a huge market for models, what has it meant for you to have a business and juggle a full-time job exactly?
But my actual passion obviously is pageantry, but as I said, I cannot live from this. So obviously you need a full-time job if you want to have a nice car, if you want to have your own home. So obviously I focus a lot on my work. I don't distract myself when I'm working with Borders within pageantry, because obviously that's what gives me the income to live.
Yeah.
But this is just something that I enjoy. I do have like some of my family members, and they're like, "Shikisha, you don't stop and you don't even earn a penny from this."
Yeah.
And it's like, because I do, money comes in, but then when I do my pageants, internationals, money comes out. So obviously, but because it's something that I love, it's my passion, just watching the girls grow, boosting their confidence, seeing the girls use their beauty in a positive way to help society and not just for personal gain. That fulfills me as a person.
So you've definitely followed your dreams. Would you say that you have a good support system at home to be able to do that?
Definitely. Like my family, they are my number one fans. My husband, Rafa, he's a professional hairstylist and makeup artist, which we actually have number one models beauty salon as well, which is a side business from number one models, which I opened for him because it's his passion as well. And it obviously combines when we do pageants, photo shoots. I don't have to pay for a makeup artist or hairstylist. Like he's the one that's so, and my family, as I said, like my number one fans.
But I mean, do you think that's a really important part of why you are able to continue, no?
Very important when you have a support system behind, not just my family, my friends, my amazing team. If it wasn't for my team, like Charlene Figueras, she is working by my side with all of the pageants, fashion shows. Obviously, all of my team, they volunteer, like no one gets paid.
Yeah.
And it's hard work, obviously, before a show, photo shoots, videos that we have to do, or coaching the girls. But having the support, like I wouldn't be anything without my team and my family, to be honest.
But it is your happy energy, porque I can feel it right now talking to you, and whenever you're talking about the whole process of what you're doing, you definitely have that sparkle in your eye. Would you say that creative side of you has helped you be able to sustain a business model that perhaps in Gibraltar wouldn't work unless you're able to put lots of different things together?
Yeah, to be honest, it's a very hard work, because as I said before, a pageant is 3 to 4 months of creativity work before the pageant, because people, all they see is like the 2-hour show, the glitz and glam, the girls, the routines, but there's way more behind it. Like the preparations for a show is very, very hard. And sometimes I think, because I reached like my 50th show like my last show, like with all of my fashion shows. And sometimes I do stop and think like, what can I do next? But now I've got to the point, like people enjoy what they see. So if that's what they enjoy and that's what I enjoy, why try and expand and try and do things differently? Like some people say, why don't you do a theme with your next pageant? Like people are enjoying what they're watching at the moment. It's going well. And with the School of Models, the same. I have over 90 models from the age of 3. I have 2 teachers working, Michelle and Shania, which they come from pageantry.
Yeah.
So they started doing pageants. They won Miss Gibraltar. Michelle represented Gibraltar internationally, and now they work here as teachers, because obviously I don't have the time to teach so many classes because we have loads of students.
To split yourself into more
Exactly.
roles.
But just seeing those girls, I've had some now that they're joining like the team pageants now. They are like 15, 16.
Yeah.
They started when they were 3, and just seeing the way. And the best thing for me is when the parents come and they say, oh my God, how you've changed my daughter. Like she had no confidence at all within her. And if I can help at least one person with this, because people think it's all about beauty and how you look on stage, but there's a lot of inner beauty, which for me is the most important.
So tell me a little bit about how you feel strongly, because it's clear and I can tell that for you there's an important element of helping people build up their confidence.
As we all know, Gibraltar is a very small community, so we always have those girls that are like, my dream is to join Miss Gibraltar or to join modeling, but people are going to criticize me because maybe they don't have the perfect body, or not everyone's perfect. But in my agency, we accept everyone. For us, it's not about beauty, it's about what you have inside, and just boosting the confidence of the girls, showing them how to use the beauty in a positive way, doing charity work. We do loads of charity work as well. So we focus on charity projects every year, and just seeing the girls improve themselves. And then when you see them on stage, like we've got some cases that they come to the first rehearsal, they wear heels and they're like, I've never worn heels in my life. And I'm like, don't worry, trust me, in the next 3 months, you have the perfect catwalk. And then you just see them on that stage, and it's like, I've transformed this person to be a better version of themselves. It's amazing. That's what I love about it.
So it sounds like the most rewarding part of doing something that you love is that you're able to give back.
That's the most important for me, definitely.
Okay. But you also have the huge responsibility also towards your team, the people that you are coaching and helping, and also being able to do quite a few Miss Gibraltars. So what's that like?
Yeah, that was the main thing that I had in my head.
The goal.
Exactly, the goal. Since I started in 2010, I was like, I'm gonna start now, and one day I want to do Miss Gibraltar at least once. But obviously you always think, you see, like the past producers, Christian Santos, James Niche, the amazing shows that they used to do. And I'm like, will I be able to like at least reach what they are doing? So I did apply a few times when I was younger, and I wasn't successful. They always used to get back saying you're very young, which now I understand, thankfully. Now I think about it and I'm like, thank God they didn't give it to me back then, because now when I got it in 2022, I felt prepared. All of my years of experience helped a lot, and just hearing the public and people speak about my Miss Gibraltars. And yeah, I did 3 years. My contract ended last year, and I did think that I wasn't going to apply again. I always thought maybe other people want the opportunity, but then when they called me and they said like, we want to give you an extra 3 years,
Yeah.
I didn't even think about it. I'm like, let's go for it.
Well, but it's good that you have the ability to make those decisions and commit to something. What's it like handling the pressure of having two things that you're so committed to, which is full-time work and almost sounds full-time here as well?
Yeah, I do put more hours into number one models than I do work, like literally nearly 12-hour shifts on my actual job. But as I said, because this is my passion, it's not hard for me. I just put all the hours that I need to put. There is a lot of time. Obviously, financially the same. It's very hard to find sponsors because obviously everyone knows now that Miss Gibraltar is no longer funded by government.
Yeah.
So it's always been funded by government, but the year that I got it, that's when they stopped funding it.
Oh dear.
So obviously it's a big difference with the big amount of money that they used to give before.
Yeah.
And it was a big struggle, very big struggle. I've had years of Miss Gibraltar's, weeks before that I'm like, I don't think we can go ahead with the show, because obviously, but then I'm like, I'll just have to put money from my savings, and if it's something that I like.
Yeah.
And it is very hard, a lot of time, but it's just what I love. I can't do anything else.
So it pays off in a different way, in a more emotional and rewarding way for yourself.
Exactly.
More
and I've always have it in the back of my mind, because as I said, even my husband, my family, they're like, again, like
you like to
put
take the risk.
loads of hours into this, and then, but I'm like, maybe one day I'll be lucky enough that someone will come from a big company and say, how much is Miss Gibraltar?
Yeah.
Let's pay for it. Maybe one day someone watches my show, they see the passion that I have into it, and if not, I'll carry on doing cake bake sales and charity bingos and raise money for my pageants.
So, as I mentioned before, we're here at the Number One Models on location. How was it for you to find a place to start your business and run it in a place like Gibraltar that has such little space?
That was very hard, to be honest. It was the hardest part of seeing, like where I am now, getting up to here, to my own space. That was the hardest part. So I've had this place for 2.5 years now, which is not long. So I used to do all of this literally in outdoors, finding spaces, rehearsals. Where do we have rehearsals next week? Next week we're meeting outside Emil's hostel. Okay. The following week I used to contact a nursery. Can I use your studio? Yeah, you can. That's what I've been doing for like years. So having to cancel classes because of the weather. Let's go to Wellington Front. I've seen there's no one there. I'll meet you all in an hour. That's how I've been doing this for like the last literally 12 years.
So winging it.
Yeah, and then because I've always wanted like this the government places that all the dance studios have.
Yeah,
like,
the clubs,
like
associations.
yeah. But obviously I haven't been, I don't know why, maybe they don't see this as a sport or as a talent. I don't know what they see, but I never been given the opportunity for a place like that. So I was like, let's search. A friend of mine worked for a travel an estate agent. It's like, we have this space if you want to have a look. So first I came just for the school of models. I'm like, I need a studio for myself. We saw this place, as you can see, it's big, but it used to be like different offices. But because obviously I didn't have the funding to like rebuild everything, but thankfully my brothers, they
came in.
Manita.
Muy bien.
So they just came in and they're like, we can do this. So they just literally broke all of the walls. We found this space and there was a little space left at the other side. And then I thought, my husband's passion is beauty. So I'm like, to have him working for others, he can work for himself. So it's a very small business.
See.
Like 2 chairs. We have like a very local customers, same people that come weekly. But it's a good running business at the moment. It's going well.
But how do you make the numbers work? What is the part of the admin of the business that you have to deal with?
I'm not in a loss, so we break even. Thankfully, after paying for the rent, wages for my hairstylist that I have employed, Rafa, and after paying for products and everything, we are there.
Yeah.
So there's months that we earn a little bit, there's months that we don't, but we're not in a loss, which is the good part.
So is it something that you enjoy being able to do as well, as in the inside part of the business, the internal running of things?
Yes. I've never been a very academic person, like with numbers, but when you have to do it, you just do it, because obviously I can't afford to pay an accountant, to be honest, so I do it myself. So I get home, I open my laptop, and my husband's like, again with the laptop? I'm just doing numbers. I'm doing like the P1, the tax, because obviously you have to do everything.
Yeah.
Well, but you learn just watching videos on YouTube, and that's how I've learned.
No, but it's spoken like a true entrepreneur, because that is what you tend to do. Like, when you don't know something, you just have to find a way, learn how to do it, and brush up on your skills, and eventually you get there.
I have a good friend that she's an accountant. She came 2 or 3 times to my house and like did the spreadsheet. This is what you do, this is what you have to. And since then, I've been doing it myself.
So tell me, because I can see passion versus survival.
Definitely.
What advice would you give somebody who's thinking, there's something I really want to do, there's a business I would love to run, but I don't want to take that risk of losing a full-time job or sometimes civil service job to jump in because I have bills to pay? What's your advice?
My advice to everyone is always to follow the dreams. If it's something that you want to do, go for it. You don't have to look at me. I still have my full-time job.
Yes.
You don't have to leave your full-time job. If you are lucky enough to start and you see that your business is going really well, then I have friends and people that they've done it before. They've left a government job because their business is running really well. So never keep that in you. Like, go for it. If it's something that you enjoy, at least try it. If it doesn't work, you always know that you gave it a chance and you tried it. But never, like, you don't grow old thinking in the back of your head, this is what I wanted to do and I never did.
Okay, well, that's great advice. So going into how the world is changing, the evolution of this kind of business has changed also, because we're seeing a lot of like generated content, a lot of social media content. How do you think the world of modeling beauty is changing, and how do you adapt to that?
Luckily in Gibraltar, just because I'm the only modeling agency in Gibraltar, at the moment there's no one else doing pageants. So there are other people doing pageants, but not like an agency, like a school of models. And nowadays, for example, with AI, like we order dresses. When it comes, we're like, this is not what we ordered, and then we realize, okay, this was done with AI. So obviously, it's all models. You even see models on social media, and when you actually look into it, they're not real people. They are generated with AI. So I try and focus with my girls, like not to, when we do photo shoots, obviously we edit the photos, it's normal, but not to extend it to like the AI side of editing. We try and keep it simple, obviously always editing to enhance the beauty of a model. But for me, I just keep doing what I do. I leave that to one side. It's not something that I like. We all use ChatGPT nowadays, like to ask us questions, or who doesn't? I'm not gonna lie, but I don't use it for my models and to try and change some
To enhance.
exactly. No, I don't.
You prefer the real deal.
Yeah.
Well, there is a lot going on in Gibraltar at the moment. We're about to enter a new phase. You're a person who travels internationally a lot. Tell me a bit about how it is for you to represent Gibraltar outside.
For me, it was amazing. Since day one that I started doing pageants, I always, like Miss Gibraltar, I mean, because those are the ones that represent Gibraltar internationally, I thought these girls, they need to have someone there with them internationally. Like in the past years, the girls used to travel alone to Miss World and other pageants. And obviously I have friends that they've been Miss Gibraltar. One of my closest friends won Miss Gibraltar back in 2006, and for her the biggest struggle in Miss World was being there alone for a whole month. So I said from day one, these girls, they need the support. Emotionally, it's very hard. You're leaving your hometown, Gibraltar, which is not the same that other contestants from around the world. They travel the world to Asia or other countries and they see themselves alone. So for me, I knew I wanted to travel with the girls. I don't go the whole month because obviously my leave, I'm to an extent, obviously all of my leave, I use it for pageants. But just going internationally, I remember the first time I went to Miss World and going into the directors meeting, they went through the register of all of the countries. And when they said Gibraltar, I'm like, hi, present. And they're like, oh, nice. It's the first time that a representative from Gibraltar comes to Miss World.
Okay.
And you can see the difference. Since I've started, we've had placements at Miss World. We've won a Miss Supranational Europe crown. This year, top 2 in Miss Teen Universe. Top 10s. We've had loads of placements because it does make a difference having your national director there to support you, and you can see what other people are doing, and then you encourage your girls to. And I think it's like, no me gusta dármela de, pero you can see like it helps the girls having someone there supporting them.
Well, you don't need to be humble because obviously you're working very hard también. Porque I don't feel like it's something that you're trying to flex about, basically. I think it's something that is very true to who you are and where your heart is. So tell me, is it something that you think that you would be passionate about doing full time if you could?
If I could, definitely. I've always said it. If this would give me the income for me to pay for my mortgage and obviously the life that I live, this would definitely be my full-time job. Unfortunately, it doesn't happen.
Yeah.
And as I said, we do have a big school of models with over 90 students that they do pay for classes. Obviously, people also think, oh, ticket sales, all the shows that he does, but then obviously
you have the expenses.
You have the expenses, like just the studio itself, it's over £2,000 to pay for. So obviously, it's more than what I earn from the School of Models. And then pageants are very expensive, from clothing to venues, lighting, music. And then if you think of Miss Gibraltar, it's another, you have to pay for everything. People love what they see, but obviously it
comes at a cost.
It comes at a cost, yeah.
I know. The good thing is it doesn't stop you from chasing your dreams, and you're able to achieve something that you are enjoying so much.
Yeah. I don't know until when one day I'll say I'm 34 now. I don't think I'll be doing this with 50 because it's, but who knows?
Never know.
You never know.
You never know.
Because it has grown a lot since we first started. So if it keeps on growing or just stay how it is, I'm happy.
There is one question we usually ask all the guests, and I start with a sentence and you finish it for me. Kelvin right now is?
Kelvin right now is doing what he loves, working with his passion and helping people boost up their confidence, as I said before, and just living his childhood dream.
Oh, that's amazing. I've really enjoyed having this conversation with you, but I really believe that the fact that you're following your dreams is something that shines through. So thank you so much for sharing.
Thank you for giving me the opportunity to share my story and for having me here in today's episode. Thank you so much.
From a young age, following his passions, watching his sister doing something he fell in love with, to transforming it into a business and juggling a full-time job. What an amazing story and what an amazing journey. Wishing him the best of luck, and thank you so much for watching us.